Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty big things to go over. New Pokemon Legends EA post-game leaks have dropped. We have some other updates to go over regarding Pokemon Legends EA, Pokemon Champions, and also some new Pokemon events that have also been announced. There's a lot of things to talk about though, so if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's take a look at a couple of brand new Pokemon events and announcements. The first one is for Pokemon Cafe Remix. We've got Cerebi tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the next Pokemon Cafe Remix event has been officially revealed. It adds Bewear's Summer Festival outfit to the game. So, that is the Pokemon Cafe Remix update, and then we also have a Pokemon Go update as well regarding Dynamax battles. So, we've got Cerebi tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, Pokemon Go is to increase the limit of max battle entrants from 40 all the way up to 100 at any one time, starting with Go Fest Max Final. So you could have 100 people in one Dynamax raid, which is a ridiculous amount of people, but hey, it'd make the raid easier. But those are the latest Pokemon events and announcements. Moving on next, I wanted to talk about the Pokemon Legends EA demo a little bit more because a tiny bit of information has dropped regarding how it could actually be part of the Pokemon Legends EA game. So we've got Soul Silver out here tweeting out saying, I could be wrong and many may disagree, but I actually think the Pokemon Legends EA demo isn't just a demo and it is the finished product. So people that have played the Pokemon Legends EA demo potentially could have played a very small portion of the Pokemon Legends EA game. So they say ZA is 2 months away, meaning it's done and it's probably in production. Seems like the demo was just set at a certain part of the early game. The game even kept going past where the demo should have ended. I'm not sure if it ever even had an end, and as you can see, it just cuts off once the time is up. So if you did a speed run, maybe you'd get further. So this is a post from Zygon, my beloved, saying about every 5 to 7 seconds it was slower than Poison, and then, adding to this, as someone accidentally clicked A after the mission success screen and it went to a cutscene that looked like the interior of Hotel Z, but the game phased to a thanks for playing screen before more could be shown. The employees were not happy with that player. So this is what they're talking about here. So as they finish the demo, it then kind of has AZ talking, and then it goes to a quick sort of screen to Hotel Z, which is just here. You can kind of just see it before it goes to the thank you for playing. So what Soul Silver is basically saying is that this demo portion is from the actual game, and then the demo cuts off there, but obviously the actual game would just carry on. And then we also have this to go over where it says, anonymous DM regarding your recent tweet, but part of the instructions for the demo of Pokemon Legends EA were that during the Battle Royale portion, we were told not to leave the designated area. Otherwise, the attendee would have to take over and get us back to where we were supposed to be. Also, there's a portion that forces you to look at the map, and the attendant didn't want you lingering on the map too long. So it seems likely the build has most, if not all, of Lumiose City. And we do know that the demo is going to be playable at Gamescom this week. So maybe if it's a less security sort of demo location, then maybe people might be able to sneak in a bit of extra time on it, maybe able to sneak into a couple of other areas and stuff. But yeah, I can see both sides of it. Like, it is interesting that obviously you can go to Hotel Z and stuff, and then obviously it cuts to playing. But we've also had demos in the past, like the Auras demo, the Sun and Moon demo. Like, they were nothing to do with the actual game, they were just demos. But then we've also had the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee demo, which was a portion of the game. So you can kind of see both sides of the argument, but either way, Gamescom is this week, and the demo is going to be at Gamescom, as well as other kind of Nintendo games. So maybe we find out a bit more information about it. But I thought that was quite interesting. So if you have played the demo, you potentially have played a portion of Pokemon Legends EA. Moving on, let's talk Nintendo Direct, because apparently we are going to be getting a update regarding it this month, and then we're also going to get the actual Direct next month. This is all just a rumor. It was posted on Twisted Voxel, but basically Switchforce, who was a person that I think they correctly predicted the Indie Direct, said that we are going to see something else regarding a first-party Direct. Either way, take it with a grain of salt, but let's move on. It says, Nintendo Direct announcement expected later this month, September showcase possible. So an update on a Nintendo Direct announcement is expected for later this month. The presentation may happen sometime during September 2025. We usually get Nintendo Directs in September, so this wouldn't be the craziest thing to see, but you know, this would be a massive direct, because we are expecting a ton of brand new Nintendo Switch 2 games to be revealed during this, and as well as that, there's probably going to be some Pokemon Legends EA information as well, seeing as the game would come out a month after this. So it says, known insider Switchforce took to Twitter to mention that he will have an update to share on a general Nintendo Direct announcement before the end of the month, which is of course August 2025. He added that Nintendo has dedicated this month for showcasing Dragon Drive and Kirby Air Riders, and that's exactly what's happened. Obviously Dragon Drive's just dropped. We have a Kirby Air Riders Direct that was dropped today. So yeah, this month is looking specifically for, anyway, Dragon Drive and Kirby Air Riders, which they've got right. And then goes on to say, furthermore, the insider was asked whether the aforementioned General Nintendo Direct will happen in September 2025, or if the 40th Super Mario Bros. Anniversary celebration will take up the entire month. He responded by saying that there will be lots of news in September, hinting that the Direct presentation may well happen next month. The console maker has historically held direct presentations during the month of September, so we're inclined to believe that it will indeed host one this year as well. As for possible surprises from Nintendo at Gamescom, Switchforce said that a Metroid Prime 4 demo has already been confirmed, and he believes that this is the extent of the console maker's surprises for the upcoming event. Nintendo recently confirmed that the game will be released in late 2025, and then it will publicly be playable for the first time at Fan Expo Canada later this month. The console maker shared the news through a press statement announcing its participation in Fan Expo Canada. This confirmation not only puts an end to recent speculation about a possible delay, but also indicates that a broader promotional campaign for the game is now underway. Previously, uncertainty surrounded the release window for Metroid Prime 4, especially after the last trailer failed to provide a specific date. However, the game's recent ratings classification had already suggested a more imminent launch. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is set for release for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 consoles. So yeah, I mean, what I think is going to happen is Kirby Air Riders, September, and then also we have Pokemon Legends EA in October, and then we have Metroid Prime in November, and then December, maybe something comes out that's announced in the September Direct. Like, that could be the sort of big game that comes out every month, because Metroid is going to be big. Obviously, Pokemon Legends EA is going to be massive. So those months are kind of taken care of, if of course Metroid comes out in November. Could come out in September, never know. But yeah, those months are kind of taken care of. And then they need a big game for December, which could be some sort of Mario collection for the 40th anniversary, something like that. But either way, it's very likely we are going to get a Nintendo Direct in September, and it's also very likely that there's going to be some Pokemon news inside of it. Probably going to showcase a new Mega Evolution. But anyway, those are the Nintendo Direct kind of rumors and speculations. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about Pokemon Legends EA post-game story leaks. So if you don't want to see them, obviously skip this portion of the video. These are general story leaks for once you beat the game. You know, the game has been completely leaked, so it's not crazy to think that we are going to get post-game story leaks and stuff. But either way, don't take this with a grain of salt because this is legitimate. But anyway, it says ZA post-game spoilers. So there is an infinite version of the ZA Royale you can do in the post-game after completing its story. So the ZA Royale going from Z to A, that's kind of what you have to do in the main story, and also what you have to do online as well in the 4-player battle mode. It's been confirmed that you start from rank Z and then you have to go down to rank A. But once you beat the game, there is an infinite version of it. So I don't really know what that means, because you can't go higher than A unless it's like, I don't know, A1, A2, A3 or whatever. What I assume is just every single night you just go out and then there's just trainers with higher leveled Pokemon, and then you can just defeat those. You'll get medals, you'll get the points and everything like that. And I think that's what it means. I don't think you're going to be able to constantly rank up, because where do you go from A unless you start going into numbers or something, like I say. But yeah, there is an infinite version of the ZA Royale in the post game once you complete the story. So that's the first post-game leak. And then the next one is this. These were both from Ball Guy, by the way, if that wasn't obvious. But it says, ZA post-game spoilers. So I apologize since my latest post is admittedly not really clear, regardless of how it's interpreted. Ange is essentially rebirthed. So they say, why ending in Nier Replicant was my way of stating this. And then after its destruction, becoming the final wild zone in the post-game. You can find Pokemon such as Esper, Ralts, and Flabébé there. So, Ange is essentially rebirthed after its destruction. So obviously the final of this game is, you know, you take on this Ange sort of thing. You know, it's Eternal Flower, Zygarde's there, all this stuff's kicking off. Not really 100% sure how it's going to obviously work, but that's kind of the gist of it. So that's Rebirth. So once you destroy this Ange thing, it's rebirthed, and it becomes the final Wild Zone. So obviously you have like Wild Zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yada, yada, yada. And then after you beat the game, that sort of location becomes the final Wild Zone, and then you can catch Pokemon there. But I assume you can catch Esper, Ralts, and Flabébé and other locations. Like, those are low, I mean, they're basic Pokemon. You know, they are Pokemon that you'd find in the first few Wild Zones. So this area clearly wouldn't have crazy high levels. But then again, in like Sword and Shield and stuff, and Scarlet and Violet, you can find like level 60 basic Pokemon and stuff. So maybe that's just the situation. But yeah, those Pokemon are going to become available once you beat the game, and that is going to become the final Wild Zone. So yeah, those are, I guess that's just the post game. It doesn't sound like the post game is crazy. It just sounds like you are going to be able to go to this new Wild Zone, and then as well as that, you can do a continuous ZA Royale. Now, we might get DLC. Again, we do know that the train connects to the airport, so that could be something. But yeah, for the post-game leaks, I think it is literally, I think that is just the post-game. I think that is just new area, continuous ZA Royale, and then that's it. Which doesn't surprise me. Like, there's not really a crazy, like, there might be a couple of missions and stuff you can do from like Emma and whatever, but I don't think there's going to be like a crazy good post game like in Emerald, or obviously in like Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I think it's just going to be this. But we might get DLC, we might get a free update, and obviously there's always the online as well, which is going to keep the game going. But yeah, in regards to the post game, that is it. So those are the latest leaks for Pokemon Legends EA. Finishing things off, we have some new Pokemon Champions updates to go over. Even more information is dropped for the upcoming Pokemon game. So we've got Centro here tweeting out saying it's been confirmed that Pokemon Champions will be free to play on the Nintendo Switch 2, the Nintendo Switch, and mobile devices. However, a paid version will also be released for Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch, Pokemon Champions Plus Starter Pack. More details in the future. So it says Pokemon Champions takes the stage for VGC at the 2026 Pokemon World Championships in San Francisco. Mega Evolution and Mega Dragonite will be available at launch. So next year, Pokemon trainers from around the world will battle it out when the Pokemon Video Game Championships makes the shift to Pokemon Champions at the 2026 Pokemon World Championships in San Francisco. When Pokemon Champions launches in 2026, trainers will compete in ranked battles where Pokemon will be able to undergo Mega Evolution and become Mega Evolved Pokemon, such as the newly discovered Mega Dragonite introduced in Pokemon Legends EA. And then says Pokemon Champions is a free-to-start game. So free-to-start is usually what Nintendo describe games with microtransactions, which is of course what Pokemon Champions is going to have. So yeah, Pokemon Champions is a free-to-start game coming to Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch, and mobile devices in 2026. More details on a paid digital version of Pokemon Champions on the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch systems will be shared in the future. So it's something exclusive for the Switch consoles, because obviously they don't talk about mobile here. So you'd like to think it'd be sort of customization and stuff, but then why wouldn't that be available on mobile as well? So gonna be interesting what this is. I assume they're going to announce this relatively soon, because Pokemon Champions has to come out soon. It's coming out before next August. It has to give people a chance to familiarize themselves with the game. Maybe it comes out during the Pokemon Presents 2026 in February. Maybe that's when they drop it. Who knows? But it does have to come out relatively soon, because, like I say, they need people. They need to give people a time to adapt to it and stuff. Like, this is going to be the competitive game going forward. And then it says, as a reminder, this game will have 2 currencies according to leaks. So VPs will be used to recruit and train Pokemon, and normal held items, and will only be obtained through playing. The secondary currency will be used for trainer customization, stadiums, and exclusive held items. So maybe this starter pack is something to do with the second currency, but then I also don't know why you wouldn't get that on mobile. Maybe it's like a Switch exclusive customization thing. That's the only thing I can really think of. And of course, there has been some leaks about Pokemon Champions, which of course we've already covered in the past. And then will you need to switch online to play online? Nope, NSO won't be required. So you don't need NSO to play this game, apparently. It's not needed at all. So just obviously some sort of internet connection, but you don't actually have to pay for an SO. But either way, those are the Pokemon Champions updates. So yeah, very interesting what this starter pack is going to be. Yeah, it's going to be something that's revealed at a later date. But that's going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider leaving a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It does really help out the video, the channel, all that good stuff. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we covered in today's video. There was a lot of random stuff that we covered, but all very interesting. Obviously, the post-game leaks. Let me know your thoughts on these. Do you think the post-game is going to be very good or not in Pokemon Legends EA? Do you think we're going to see a Nintendo Direct next month? And also, do you think we are going to see Pokemon Legends EA in it? And then also, what are your thoughts on the demo situation as well? Do you think this is a portion of the actual Pokemon Legends EA game, or do you think it is just generally the demo? Anyway, though, that's everything from me. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.